Well, y'all, that took about 3 hours to figure out exactly where we're going with this one. And this one's going to make your jaw drop a little bit. So as you know, we're going to go through the details. And the thumbnail doesn't leave a whole lot to the imagination, and all the CNN reporting and all the circle back Psaki clips that we're going to have pulling up. We're going to show you MSNBC. We're going to show you all the lefties. All of it revolving around the idea that this guy came in under the Biden administration in an asylum claim from Afghanistan in 2021. Ends up today killing 2 National Guardsmen walking through Washington, D.C. I tell you what, wonders never cease. It is bizarre. I told you in the earlier video today, once I knew I was going to go full bore. Yeah, we're about to go full bore on this one. As you guys get in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. This crap has got to stop. Clear. Let me borrow a phrase from the lefties. Full stop. All right, let's keep on going. As you guys know, you can follow me on X at Braden LOA. Please send this one out. Audio, video was just confirmed for you guys over here in the chat. Comments, chats, emojis, all of that makes the entire stream go around the world, and every bit of it is free, and it helps. Thank you very much. All right, let's get into this. We've got so much to talk about, and I can't guarantee I'm not going to get spicy, because all the tabs that you see up there, there's like 12 or 13 of them. Yeah, that's all the updates that are just dropping right now. The day before Thanksgiving, this is popping off. Yeah, I'm probably going to get spicy. All right, as you guys get in here, of course, let me hear you in the comments. Here we go. This is the thing that you need to know. The shooting today with National Guardsmen in D.C. And again, I got clip on clip on clip on clip. Don't miss any of this video. The incident is being investigated as a possible act of terrorism, according to the outlet. Quote, the officials said the suspect, who is alleged to have used a handgun in D.C., by the way, that's a gun control city, if you're not familiar, for the gun controllers watching, when you start to promulgate all your gun control talking point BS, I'll just reference that little fact, has been initially identified as an Afghan national. That's Afghanistan, for those of you who don't know the shorthand of that country. Law enforcement officials are still trying to confirm all the person's details. NBC reporter, don't worry, CNN did it too. Watch this, here we go. The FBI will initially investigate the shooting as a possible act of terrorism, 2 senior U.S. law enforcement officials said. The officials said the suspect, who is alleged to have used a handgun, has been initially identified as an Afghan national. Law enforcement officials are still trying to confirm all the person's details. A motive has not been determined, and the nature of the investigation could change. You know what? It could. That was 6:29 p.m. Eastern Time. It's now 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The details have changed. Let's keep on going. Again, this pisses me off so bad, and honestly, I bet you it pisses a lot of you off too, because these are American citizens. These are our National Guard. These are civilians that you know, work and live with, and they're getting killed because of the extreme rhetoric, the terrorism, and the asylum policies of the Biden administration in 2021. Don't worry, I'm getting there. And all this is fact, by the way. I only go full throttle when it's proven. Just in. The suspect, who is accused of shooting 2 National Guard members, has been identified as a 29-year-old Afghan national, whatever, according to CBS News. Allegedly, he entered the United States in 2021. The incident is being investigated as a possible act of terrorism. The 2 guardsmen are in critical condition, according to FBI director. Of course, that is an older post. They have since passed away, and my thoughts and prayers are with their families, because this did not have to happen. It is absolutely asinine. All right. And here's the payoff. I'm going to throw this out here really nicely real quick. This is my big disclaimer in this part of it. I did not hear this statement. This is early reporting. This could change, and if it does, I will change it, and I will tell you, and I'll issue a correction. But as of right now, the reporting is, and I quote, the Afghan national who shot National Guardsmen in D.C. shouted Allahu Akbar. Oh, this is a nice little piece of little nougat. And a guardsman involved directly did not have a firearm, only a knife, and stabbed the attacker back, but the man was shot by surrounding guardsmen. Okay, we're just going to have a moment as the rest of you guys filter in here, and please send this out. So we go through propaganda ad nauseum about how evil it is that ICE agents would have masks on their face while they're being threatened and they're carrying out their sworn duty to uphold the laws of the United States. Well, it's evil, and it's a Nazi Gestapo tactic if you have a mask on your face. So while they're being threatened, by the way, then they go into D.C., and they're in full uniform walking around in the United States, the Capitol, and they get shot while they are literally wearing full uniform, full garb, and they've got National Guard on their chest. You starting to see the problem? And this is where I'm going to start to get a little animated. President Donald J. Trump, assassination attempts, 2. One of them thwarted. Charlie Kirk, assassinated. ICE agents were shot at. An ICE facility was under attack by a sniper who was connected to the lefty world. And then he killed undocumented immigrants. Now you have this popping off. You have all of the ICE raid fiasco and all the burning Los Angeles down. Remember all that? Yeah, all of that. It seems like 9 years ago, right? No, that was actually about 3 or 4 months ago. That I actively covered it in the summer. All of this is violence because it's being built up as National Gestapo from Nazi land of Trump. Literally, y'all, you can't frame this any other way. Anyway, let's keep on going. I got clips on clips on clips. Got a super chat right over here. Hold on one second. I got 2 of them. All right. This is an act of war against the United States of America, says Fred Samuel. That's $5 super chat. Thank you, Fred. AB Daddy, $5. King 5 here in Washington State just posted he was living in Bellingham, Washington. Yes, I saw it as well, but I did not find it pertinent to the issue at hand. But it is a good add-in. Thank you guys. Again, comments, chats, emojis, all of that needs to happen because this needs to be spread because this is some bullshit. Again, I try not to curse unless it really needs it, and in this case, it needed it. Here's another report confirming the same thing. The 29-year-old Afghan illegal was brought here in 2021 by Joe Biden, of course. Biden and Mayorkas have blood on their hands. Don't worry, that's coming. While staging the attack, he allegedly screamed, Allahu Akbar. There's another inference to that famous phrase of which you do not want to hear. Okay, this is really not looking good, particularly when you're talking about they were part of the ASYLUM project coming from the Biden administration in 2021. And just in case you were out there and you were in lefty land and you were looking for a reason to find that something I'm telling you is not correct, because they do watch. It's weird. But anyway, watch. I don't know why. It's like they can't get enough. All right, here you go. Watch this. This is the D.C. mayor saying exactly what happened in a 15-second segment. This is pretty hard. Watch this.
What we know, Andrea, is that this is a targeted shooting. One individual who appeared to target these guardsmen, that individual has been taken into custody.
That's pretty clear. Wild, huh? Okay, let's keep on going. Let's just keep on trucking. Someone just said in the comments I'm dithering so I can stay on topic. All right, fine. I do that. I got to be honest. I'll take that feedback right on the chin. I blab sometimes. All right, here we go. Let's see what CNN's reporting has. This is coming from CNN. Okay, you just wait for the gun control calls that are coming. Oh yeah, that's coming too. Watch this.
Here it is. What do you know?
Well, this individual appears to be from Washington State. It appears that he immigrated here into the United States in 2021 as part of the operation to bring Afghanis who had worked with or assisted the United States government over into this country as Afghanistan was beginning to fall.
The Special Immigrant Visa Program, SIV program.
Right, exactly. This was the Allies Welcome Program. He applied for asylum under that program and was granted that asylum in April of this year. Although he's been here, it appears, since 2021.
Okay, so let me just break that down real quick. He's been here since 2021 in an asylum program brought in by the Biden administration. Don't worry, Circleback Saki is going to be on camera here in a second because camera lives forever, saying how they deeply vet every single person who came over here in that little airlift operation. Yep. All right, CNN, keep going.
That sets this in a place where the FBI is going to be looking at what was the vetting that was done prior to his arrival here, when he settled in Washington, what has been his activities here in the United States, what brought him to Washington, how long has he been there. But it's going to give them a better direction at this point as they try to get from who is this individual, which they believe they've established, to what is his motive. Now, a number of motives could come up there. One could be that he was disenchanted in the United States. Another could be that he was angry at the U.S. military or felt betrayed and came.
I don't give a shit about his feelings. I don't care. Sorry, I don't. You just killed 2 of our military service members screaming, allegedly, a very, very aggressive phrase that I'm pretty sure I'll get in trouble for saying on YouTube. And then you go out here and now it's, well, gun control was the right way. And if we had common sense gun control, and it's all about the right jumping to conclusions. The dude literally is... Oh. Sorry, when things get this emotional, I get a little into it. All right, now here you go. Circle back Saki. You remember this wonderful time frame before we had Karine, Jean-Pierre, KJP? We had this wonderful Raggedy Ann doll right here. Circle back Saki telling us how amazingly awesome they are, and they're vetted in 2021 under the Biden administration when they're let in under asylum claims, and they're here the whole frickin' time. All right.
You've talked about this a little bit, others have as well, but there are, of course, concerns among lawmakers, experts who've tracked this. They're saying previous arrivals of large numbers of refugees from different parts of the world, inevitably there may be a small handful who are eventually deemed a security risk of some kind. What reassurances can you make about the screening process and the attempts to make sure that somebody like that doesn't make his or her way here?
I can absolutely assure you that no one is coming into the United States of America who has not been through a thorough screening and background check process. And there are many individuals, as you noted, who have not been through that process, and they have gone to lily pad countries as that process has been completed. It doesn't mean that that's because there's a flag. It means they have not completed their paperwork, and we were working to save tens of thousands of people, hence we evacuated them to these third countries.
And then on
Well, you really nailed that one to the wall, Circle back. You did a great job, Raggedy Ann. Man, you nailed that one. They've been so vetted. There's been so much vetting. We knew what they had for dinner 15 years ago. They're so vetted. We are so good. And don't worry, we have lily pad countries. They'll never get in if there's anything wrong or bad. Meanwhile, 2 National Guardsmen are now dead in D.C. from a coordinated ambush-style attack with a firearm in a gun control city. Just start to tell me when the liberal bullshit stops working. Again, I'm going to get more and more animated because literally they're killing our service members now. And by they, I mean people who wish ill harm, not individual demographic groups, lefties. All right, super chat right over here. David Savage, $10 super chat. It's the freaking Demorats. Jump into gun control over this. I'm going to lose my esh. Well, David, you're not going to like one of the tabs that's coming next because it's gonna. All right, let's keep on going. Let's keep on trucking. Guys, again, this is why we are standing firmly on our policies and our beliefs and our country, to be quite candid. Because this kind of crap is what's wrong. You look right at somebody and say, nothing's wrong, we vetted everybody, and then they end up killing our national servicemen. Okay. Sorry, CNN's on it again. Watch, even CNN can't cover this crap up.
According to sources that we've talked to, the shooting went down like this. Gunman walks up at a very fast pace. The guardsmen, there were at least 2, perhaps 3 guardsmen who were standing there, appeared not to have seen him approach, and he opens fire mere feet away from one of them, strikes at least one of the guardsmen. One of the other guardsmen runs from behind, appears to try to shelter behind a bus shelter that was right nearby. And the gunman managed to get 3 shots off before someone appears to have returned fire. Now, there's still a lot of this scene that we are still trying to get to the bottom of. It's not clear who fired that shot. It might have been the 3rd guardsman who was able to return fire. But what is being described here, certainly what plays out on that video, is an ambush situation where you have these guardsmen. You've seen them around Washington. You pass them on the streets. They tend to be in high traffic areas, near metro stations, especially where there's a lot of foot traffic. And sometimes they're very friendly. They're talking to people who are passing by. In this case, they appear to not have seen the assailant approach them, and he opens fire. So
this guy genuinely turns a corner, as the mayor says, walks up and just starts shooting National Guardsmen because they are National Guardsmen. Meanwhile, he's in the country from an asylum claim from Afghanistan when he was in 2021, when the Biden administration vetted thoroughly. Don't worry, my Orcus video clips are already popping out there too. The prior AG, who was a big old, no, that wasn't, Homeland Security. I think it was Homeland Security. I'm blanking. But Mayorkas doing the same thing. So someone just said over here in the chat, you can almost hear Braden's blood pressure rising. Yeah, you almost can. And you know the really candid reason why? I'm just going to tell you. You know what? I'm going freestyle on this. The reason I get real amped, anything with children gets me amped immediately. Anything with our military and our servicemen and people who are doing something for something bigger than themselves, who are victims of some stupidity, that's another one. And then lying directly to my and your faces. Those three things really get me going. They really do. I'm just going to say it. Okay. Let's keep on going. This one I touched on in a prior video about 3 hours ago. And as you guys get in here, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, send this out, emojis, chats, comments, make the world go round. All right. This is ABC being the most vile creatures they possibly could, explaining the reason why it's justified that this guy just killed 2 National Guardsmen is because obviously some people don't like National Guardsmen and ICE agents in their cities. So, I mean, things happen. Don't believe me? Okay, watch ABC.
But of course, you know, there's so much controversy happening in the United States right now with ICE, who are also wearing uniforms and wearing masks. And so there's, you don't know, people walking around with uniforms in an American city. There are some Americans that might object to that. And so apparently this shooting has happened.
There are some Americans who might object to military and ICE agents being in uniform in their streets. I mean, apparently this shooting has happened. This guy should be fired. I mean, honest to God, he has the right and freedom of speech, but he probably shouldn't be employed. I don't know. It's kind of a bad look, ABC. Kind of a bad look. Don't worry, though. It's par for the course. And guys, we're only halfway through. Only halfway. And this is just the beginning. All right. So there always comes a point in a segment in these videos when something bad has happened. We saw it in the Charlie Kirk assassination. We saw it in the ICE agent assault on their ICE facility in Texas. We saw it in Trump assassination attempt. There's always a point where the left starts being very gleeful and their mask slips and you see the demon that is behind it. And this is a good example of some stuff that's on Blue Sky right now. And Blue Sky, if you're not familiar, is like the lefties' version of X. The ones that were too left from Twitter went over to Blue Sky, and they have an echo chamber of evil. Honest to God. Here we go. Watch this. Hot take, but if you enforce fascism and you don't refuse to unlawful orders, sounds like the Democrats' video that they put out in the Senate. Good Lord, unlawful orders, will you deserve what's coming towards you? Supporting ICE and following orders that supports ICE is just as bad as supporting fascism and being a Nazi. It's really simple. Don't enforce fascism and you won't get shot. Wow, that was subtle. Another Blue Sky. Not sorry for the soldiers shot in D.C. Let's go to the next one. The guardsmen are there for literal target practice. Huh. Another Trump stunt, except this is real blood and it won't likely be the last bloodshed. Man, really nice people over there. Really nice people on Blue Sky, I'll tell you what. And I would be remiss if I didn't show you a video that's already circulating, celebrating and giving shout outs to a murderer screaming Allahu Akbar. I did it again. And he's an asylum claimant? Application? Whatever. Piece of shit who got here in 2021 under the Biden administration asylum claims. Shout out, watch this.
Shout out to the patriot who kirked 2 federal agents near the White House. This is exactly how we need to be dealing with violent dictatorships. Embrace our Second Amendment rights. Hopefully they'll think twice about serving this racist administration.
Shout out to the guy who killed the 2 federal DC officers, because that's what the Second Amendment is for, and we need to do more of it. Because maybe they'll think twice about working with a racist administration. That sounds like terrorism to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Doesn't that sound kind of like a terroristic threat? Asking for a friend. And now that we're hovering on the subject, the Second Amendment was not meant to commit terrorism and then go and kill and murder and ambush innocents because of XYZ reason. Nice try, though. I look forward to your next psychopathic rant. All right, let's keep on going. Whoever said in the chat over here that they were just waiting for the gun control tie-in, here it is. Brooklyn Dad Defiant, leading post on X. Not a brain cell among him, but at least he's there. Thoughts and prayers are not stopping the non-stop gun violence, even against armed National Guardsmen. Clearly they weren't armed. The guns are the problem. The guns are the problem. Again, if you guys are new here and you're not familiar with the backstory of this channel, we spent a lot of the last 4 to 5 years talking all about our Second Amendment rights, focusing on our Second Amendment rights, fighting the gun control push that came from the Biden administration, that the subsequent pushes through the executive bureaucracy overreach that they did. We spent innumerable hours covering this ad nauseum. And then these dillholes who are talking about DC, which is a gun control city, who are talking about National Guardsmen who are armed, which are not armed, and then it's nonstop gun violence. It's literally a terroristic attack while screaming a very fancy phrase brought in by a Democratic President, Joe Biden, vetted, of course, in 2021 from Afghanistan. Please, tell me the guns are the problem, idiot. This is the main thing that you have to understand. It doesn't matter what happens. It's a slide ruler. Bad thing happened with gun. Can we make it Democrat or Republican? Can we do gun control, or can we make it about the guns? What can we do? How can we do it? Slide rule answer. It's like a flow chart. Terrorism in DC in a gun control state, it's the guns. Almost like you're going to respond to whatever it is with a Democrat talking point. That's really strange how that worked out. Again, I look forward then to continuing to do this because I'm an expert in that field, and I really look forward to that one. It's going to be fun. All right, so here comes the lefty portion. John Pavlitz. Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth are culpable for endangering the National Guard by putting them in harm's way. Does that mean that Joe Biden and the Biden administration and Circleback Psaki are culpable because they brought in the individual through the asylum claims in 2021 and they vetted them? Does that mean they're culpable as well, or is that not okay? Because that's a lefty. So lefties, it's perfectly fine. But if Trump puts National Guard in D.C., he got them shot. Biden and Circleback come back, get them back into the country in 2021 through asylum claims and lily pad countries, but that's not them. That's not them being culpable for anything. Do you see the disingenuous nature of this whole thing? It really is infuriating. Don't worry, we've got 6 tabs left. We're just getting started. As you guys are getting in here, of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you want to save this country and fight the ilk of which I'm showing you right now. That'd be a good time. All right, here we go. Here's another one, and I'm just going to show you what all these lefties are doing. This is so asinine. It's honestly sickening. These National Guard troops were only in Washington, D.C. because Trump fabricated a need for them, and now he'll twist this tragedy into another excuse to flood American cities with even more military presence. This never should have happened. Those troops were scattered across D.C. doing nothing but standing around and picking up trash, all on the taxpayer's dime because Trump wanted a political photo op. What part does this filter in where a guy who comes in and tries to kill National Guard members and it succeeds because they're just standing around for a photo op? So please, Brian, enlighten all of us. Enlighten the whole class. How this is Donald Trump's fault. That this guy kills them in cold blood with a handgun in a gun control city, straight up 3 shots, and the National Guardsmen can't return fire, so they have to get him with a knife. You just tell me when and where that's our fault, Donald Trump's fault, anyone's fault other than the guy who actually did it. This is just like the gun control pushes they always do. Psychopath A kills a bunch of people, and then that's the gun's fault. When it's a very clear case of leftyism, all of a sudden it's, well, if Donald Trump had not put those National Guard in Washington, D.C., which is perfectly his right and has been enforced and proven to be lawful, they never would have been killed by the psychopathic terrorist screaming what he screamed. It's disingenuous, it's dishonest, and it's disgusting. All right, another super chat from Lisa Marie Hammerly, $20. Martial law praying for the families, says Lisa Marie Hammerly. Make sure I didn't miss any other super chats. I don't want to miss any of them from you guys. Oh, nope, Fred Samuel right here, $5 super chat. This is why you have to stay armed and trained. Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, Fred Samuel, because holy crap. This is just sickening. All right, let's keep on going. We've got even more to wander around with. Here's his brother. I told you Brian Krasenstein. Remarkably, Ed Krasenstein's even worse. If they weren't on duty there, raking leaves and standing in front of federal buildings for no good reason, this wouldn't have happened. It was Trump's stupid political stunt teamed with another lunatic killer that led to this. Or the freaking terrorist. God, it is mind-boggling. Here's another one. National Guard men weren't deployed in D.C. They wouldn't have been shot. Same thing. That's what you're going to see from the lefties. They're going to go down gun control road. They're going to go down Trump put them there and it's his fault. And they're going to go down of, oh, righties are blaming the left again. Well, maybe stop killing us and we stop doing it. I don't know. Call me crazy. All right, another super chat. $20 from Skyrex Corps. Some USC codes that I'm not going to say all the numbers for, but it's all right there. It's absolutely wild. It's just absolutely wild. Elon Musk has posted, and he's jumped in. He says, falsely labeling nonviolent people as fascist or Nazis should be treated as incitement to murder. As Not the Bee has stated, the left labeled Charlie Kirk a fascist, and he got shot. The left labeled the National Guard deployments fascist. It wasn't hard to guess what would come next. Yeah. Are you guys seeing the pattern? Anybody? I'd love to hear you in the comments if you're seeing the pattern. That's very clear and very obvious over the last year, in the first year of his administration. Talking about the Trumpster. I mean, you had a mainline political commentator and podcaster and leader of the youth side of the really Republican culture. Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk, shot. Donald Trump in his campaign, shot. ICE facility assailed, shot. Now you got this. I mean, like, how many more you need? Burning down cities because they want the ICE agents out. Like, I mean, just tell me when it's time for us to, notice something obvious. All right, let's keep on going. I'm never going to stop saying it. Oh, look, I'm going to invoke my best Rush Limbaugh impression right now. Oh, Reverend Jackson. This is who he is. That was actually pretty good. All right, here we go. Listen to what this guy has to say, because if you weren't full of BS yet, get ready.
Matter of two people fighting for their lives, guardsmen, that this president put there. And as I said, I was one that was very vocal against that. But I'm not going to belittle the fact that their lives are at stake to get into a back and forth with the president. I can say that if I'm a member of their families, I don't want to hear what he's saying about Honduras right now. I want to pray that these two guardsmen who were ordered there and who we're being told by the mayor was ambushed, make it through. And all of this about sending in 500 people, what does that have to do with where we are now? I think that we've got to, those of us that have been opposed to the president's policy, show that we're not going to morally match him by going down to a level of insensitivity. There are two people fighting for their lives on Thanksgiving Eve, and it just seems...
Nah, Rev, they're actually victims of murder now. They've actually passed away because of this terrorist attack, or alleged terrorist attack, being investigated as a terrorist attack brought in by, guaranteed factually true, the Biden administration in 2021. Oh yeah, lots more coming on that one. All right, super chat for $10 from Steve Roussel. Thank you very much, Steve. You get a heart. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Oh man. Oh my God, here we go. Yeah, Sharpton is 150. That is absolutely true. All right, let's keep on going. I gotta... You know what? No, I don't. I don't have to. It's my show. I don't want to listen to that guy anymore. This part I'm gonna wrap the whole thought after this. Byron Donalds actually nailed this, and he nailed it pretty well. I personally think he's going to be the next governor of Florida, but we'll see how that shakes out. But he nails this, and the whole premise here is the Democrats have their fingerprints all over it, and this is what you're going to see, a full court press. I know, because I'm going to take part in it, 100%. No one's called me, no one's told me, got no emails. I can just look at it right now and go, oh, we're going to talk about this. Because this is exactly it. Take it away, Byron.
What I'm thinking is a couple of things. First, these members of Congress with their stupid-ass video, they're putting our military men and women in harm's way. That's number one. Number two, now that we're finding out that this shooter is an Afghani national that came in during in the year 2021, well, gee, what happened in 2021? Oh, yes, it was the botched withdrawal of Afghanistan from Joe Biden, one of the very worst geopolitical and military decisions by the former president of the United States. We knew at the time that there were Afghan nationals who were coming into the United States that were not being properly vetted. We were being told, just get people to the United States as as quickly as possible, and then the Biden team would do the necessary work of vetting everybody. And even at that time, none of us believed that on Capitol Hill. So now, 4 years later, we have an Afghan national in the streets of Washington, D.C., who decided to shoot to kill, let's be clear, shoot to kill 2 of our National Guardsmen from the state of West Virginia. This is disgusting. And it says Democrat fingerprints all over it.
All right. So, by the way, if you guys can help me out, this is the interactive part of this show. Sometimes when you guys offer me feedback, I want to incorporate it. Some people in the chat over here are saying that the governor of West Virginia misspoke and that the National Guardsmen are still alive. If you guys could check that real quickly and let me know in the comments if they are alive and still holding on, or if they have passed away, that would be amazing. I've heard through multiple networks and multiple reporting that they have passed away, but if you guys can let me know, that would be amazing over there as we continue this. Now, just throw it in the chat and we'll make that work.
Look, I understand Rob O'Neill. I thank him for his service. He did more than most Americans ever have done for this nation. But I'm going to be very clear. This is Democrat fingerprints all over it. Because in 2021, Joe Biden, Alyssa Slotkin, Mark Kelly, and the rest of those Democrats, they had no problem, whether it was Afghanis coming in recklessly without proper vetting, or people from 184 different countries coming into the United States at will with no checks, no desire to vet, and doing nothing to secure this nation. And now 2 of our National Guardsmen are fighting for their life as a result. What I'm thinking.
All right, so active in real time, either correcting or modifying my previous statements. It looks like we are getting about 50-50 on they've passed away or they are in critical condition. It looks like the governor has retracted it. Okay, so I'm going to put a very tentative on this one, guys. Again, this is the beauty of a live stream show. I communicate directly with you guys. It says here, yeah, see, that's the thing. CBS says they passed. Fox says they passed. Apparently, the governor of West Virginia withdrew and retracted his statement. I heard they have passed. Critical condition 11 minutes ago. So we're getting conflicting reporting. That's what it is. Okay, so here's where we are right this second. If they are in critical condition, I hope to God and pray to God they recover. If they have passed away, my thoughts and prayers are with the family. Either way, my thoughts and prayers are with all of them. I will offer a correction on that if I'm wrong, or I get some clarification. We will cover it. Wow, how news can't even get good info. See, I'm getting in the chat over here. They've passed, they haven't passed. They've passed, they haven't passed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I will look into that more. But the bottom line on this, super chat from Will Crump for $2 says MSDNC already blaming POTUS for the shootings. Yeah, they absolutely are, 100%. That's the opening clip. One of the opening clips I showed you. This is going to be a national story for a while, and we're gonna get all the details. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Yeah, again, just to really want to clarify this, I'm getting all over the chat. They have passed or they have not passed. They're in critical or they're not in critical. So I will offer you details when I know more. But I've heard from multiple reporting from myself that they have passed, but I hope they are alive. That would be amazing. But anyway, here's the bottom line. I've said for a while, and you saw this in the ICE agent stuff. You've seen this in the ICE raids that happen at LAPD in Los Angeles. You've seen the city takeovers. You've seen the Seattle. You've seen the Antifa stuff. You've seen the assaults on the ICE facilities. It's going to come down to accountability. The murder of Zarina Arutska, accountability. Crime and accountability, affordability. That's what you're going to see. And right now, the Biden administration brought in this guy who just killed 2 National Guardsmen, and they're on camera defending it. Not the action, but the importation. Another super chat, $10 from Grunt 98989. I've always said I would rather deal with them over there than I would here in the U.S. Says that guy. Yeah, so we're still up in the air. So forgive me if that reporting has changed. I've seen it multiple places. But listen, guys, all I can really say is this has got to stop. This crap has got to stop. We've got to fix this thing. Being involved, you and I, every day. This is how we do it. This is how we fix it. In and out, thick and thin, we fix this dang thing. For not only for ourselves, but for the next generation. Another super chat from Will Crump, $2. You know what Trump needs to invoke. Yeah, we'll talk all about that. Don't worry, it's coming. But listen, guys, keep these soldiers in your prayers, whether they are in critical or they are passed away. Either way, cover all. And pray for the family as well. And again, same thing in either way. I'll see you guys on the next one. We're going to have a lot of stuff to cover on this because this is very important for our country. I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. Later.